on tower and we're back with some more Judgement Rites. So last time I messed up big time because my sequencing was wrong, which meant the entire mission was bugged from the beginning, which I didn't know until I looked at a walkthrough and it's like, oh, you needed to do this first, otherwise the whole game breaks. I'm like, are you serious? Okay. Now, I thought I had to redo the entire game again, but I forgot that I made a separate save at the end of the trolley mission. So I'm literally already back to where I was. But this time, we're gonna do it correctly and hopefully it goes smoothly and does not glitch out on me. But there's only one way to find out. Yes, we're loading a previously saved game. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And then I need to head to... yeah.
We're off course, Captain.
Instruments indicate that we have crossed the Romulan neutral zone.
Arming weapons.
Raising shields. Trouble, Captain. Romulans materializing off the port bow.
Damage control standing by, sir.
Message from the Romulan commander, Captain.
On screen.
Enterprise, you are in violation of Romulan space. My orders are...
I went the wrong way. Because I'm a silly goose. Where am I meant to be going? Once again I'm a silly goose and I've covered the map with software. I was looking at my, yeah, that looks good, that screen looks good, yeah. No, I'm covering half my map, so I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I was literally off by 1 sector. Man.
Approaching Onius 2, Captain.
It may be nothing, Captain, but a scan of the planet's atmosphere indicates a high concentration of rare gases trapped in the planet's magnetosphere. Atmospheric disturbances could produce random radio waves.
It wouldn't be the first time, Mr. Spock, but we'll never be able to tell if we don't check it out. After all, to seek out new life and new civilizations is our mission, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
A split infinitive, Captain.
What?
The proper grammatical expression is to go boldly where no man has gone before.
Somehow, I think it loses a little in the translation.
Entering standard orbit.
Here we go, entering orbit. Then we beam on down.
Captain, our sensors will not be particularly useful to you while you're down there. And communications may be erratic, sir.
We'll be fine, Lieutenant. What reason is there to worry?
I'm afraid, Captain, there are plenty of precedents. We'll be here if you need us.
I have no doubt of that.
I have tracked the signal to its source. It is near the life forms. The rest of the planet is quite desolate. No sign of life or technology. The atmosphere is thin, but breathable. And I detect numerous micrometeorite hits.
There are 3 unformed planets in this system. It's no wonder. There are so many micrometeorites. I'm surprised any Class M planet hasn't been pulverized by now.
It is not inconceivable, but it is certainly unusual.
Let's do it, Spock. You, McCoy, and I. Oh, and tell Bones to see if a genetic specialist's available. If there are only 2 life forms, we might be privileged to see life at its earliest stages.
And the loud transporter again.
Feels to me as if we've landed on a skeleton after the vultures have picked it clean.
A fascinating analogy, Doctor. Captain, the locus of the distress signal is in that building.
I think the doctor is right. Anything good here died a long time ago. It feels creepy to me.
Thank you for that opinion, Mr. Johns. I'll be certain to use creepy in my log entry about this.
Okay. This time, scan the atmosphere.
The ozone layer is sufficient to allow the world to support life, but the lack of water vapor in the atmosphere makes survival marginal at best.
Scan the building.
As improbable as it might seem, I'm getting multiple life form readings from inside this building.
Scan the rocks.
This world is almost completely barren. The only life forms I can detect are nearby.
And this time we go this way. So now,
An antenna. I wonder what it was meant for.
That's what we're here to find out, Mr. Johns.
we scan the dish.
The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of damage. The focal point of the dish is aligned approximately 35 degrees above the horizon. This appears to be similar to Federation technology, Captain. Its control principles are similar to the Medaille sensor dish on Vulcan. It has locked the array at a 35-degree angle. Without knowledge of the code control sequence, I cannot adjust it. I also detect that its power core is not functioning. It operates on geothermal energy, tapping into heat from the ground below. These rocks are approximately 1.3 billion years old and are volcanic in origin. The array dish appears to have escaped much of the damage visited upon the rocks. Captain, until power has been returned to these controls, there is nothing I can do.
Not quite a picnic spot, but it has its charm. What do you think, Bones?
With the thin atmosphere, Sunblock 187 would be nice. You know, Jim, this is not the kind of place to inspire homesickness.
Aside from this sensor array, there is nothing unexpected here.
I hope they didn't pay the landscapers very many credits for this work.
Okay, sit down. Supposedly, if I call the Enterprise...
Mr. Scott requests to know if everything is all right, sir.
Tell Mr. Scott that everything is fine. Kirk out.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Spock, see what you can do with this.
Captain, until power has been returned to these controls, there is nothing I can do.
This appears in pretty good shape for having been out for so long. I wish I knew how to use it.
There's more. Okay. Maybe...
Captain, the controls indicate the device is aligned at an angle approximately 35 degrees above the horizon. There appears to be some sort of anomaly in the control program that has misaligned the controls, but my tricorder is unable to determine it. Without a method of determining the proper angle, I am afraid I cannot realign the dish. The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of damage. The support beneath the base is... These rocks are approximately 1.
Scotty, I need a calculation from the main computer.
While I know the computers on the Enterprise aren't quite as good as our engines, I think she'll manage.
I am sending the problem.
Ugh, that was too easy, Mr. Spock. The angle is 32.5 degrees.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
So is there anything else you need, Captain?
Not now, Scotty. Kirk out.
Captain, I can't...
The power is not being returned because I'm supposed to shoot it with my phasers. Right?
The array dish is quite sturdy and doubtless still functional. This appears to be similar to Federation technology, Captain. The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of...
Kirk to Enterprise.
Enterprise to Captain. Mr. Scott wishes to know if you're ready to beam up.
Not yet, Uhura. Kirk out.
That's not what I want. I need to fire my phasers. Why can I not try faces? The entire point of that walkthrough told me I have to stand there and fire faces. Okay, what if I scanned the wrong thing? Okay, let's just...
Nothing unusual.
There.
These rocks are approximate. Nothing unusual.
I'm just a simple cunt.
Mr. Scott requests to know if everything is all right, sir.
Tell Mr. Scott that everything is fine. Kirk out.
I'm confused.
Interesting rocks. I wish I'd paid more attention in geology class.
I thought your scores at the academy were exceptional.
I had a seat next to Finnegan on my geology class. Every day a different practical joke. I could never concentrate around him. I didn't fail the class, but I didn't learn as much as I could. This appears in pretty good shape for having been out for so long. I wish I knew how to use it. Spock, see what you can do with this.
Captain, until power has been returned to these controls, there is nothing I can do.
Not quite a picnic spot, but it
With the thin air.
Aside from this sensor array,
unlike the rocks surrounding it, the control mechanism volcanic in origin.
destroying the control mechanism is not... I had not thought of making the array appear as weathered as the rocks, but then I rely on logic to govern my actions.
I'm shooting the rock.
The energy level is insufficient, Captain. We cannot generate the energy level needed to provide geothermal energy with hand phasers.
If it's thermal energy you want, Jim, I remember this planet that used a starship's phasers on a microwave setting
There
to
we
heat the
go.
surrounding rock to provide temporary power.
An interesting observation, Doctor. We could use the same technique here, but the beam would have to be extremely precise. If we targeted the wrong section, we could melt the rock and destroy the array.
Save new game. Replace.
Maybe now I can call the
Mr. Scott requests to know if everything is all right, sir.
Tell Mr. Scott that everything is fine. Kirk out.
Mr. Scott requests to...
Tell Mr. Scott that...
I'm completely lost. I'm supposed to use my faces. Okay, maybe if I say turn.
Not quite a picnic spot.
With the
Aside from the...
You know, Jim,
I hope they didn't pay.
I'm supposed to use my faces. Maybe because I'm standing here?
Doesn't do anything special for me, Captain. Mr. Scott
Tell Mr. Scott that...
I'm totally confused. I'm almost 100% certain I'm supposed to be using my faces right now.
Volcanic in origin.
I'll be back in a minute. Okay. This other guide I'm looking at says I need to scan where I fired.
These rocks are approximately one... These rocks are approximately...
And because I can't remember where I fired, do it again. There.
These rocks are approximately one... These rocks...
Then?
These rocks... These rocks are... These rocks are...
And I'll use your kill phaser. Okay, so use this.
These rocks are These rocks. These rocks. These rocks.
So tired of hearing these rocks.
These rocks. These rocks. These rocks. These rocks. These rocks. These rocks. These rocks are...
This one says scan the rocky fire ash. Spock should say it is the best place to get the geothermal energy. Hang on. Okay, use it on the large rock in the background. I should have read more.
These rocks are... These rocks are... These rocks are... These rocks are...
In the area with the first satellite, try to use your kill phaser on the large rock in the background. Since the satellite's blah 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 blah. Spock recommends the idea. McCoy recommends the ship's phases. Scan the rocky fire net. Spock should say it is the best place to gather geothermal energy to get the satellites working.
Interesting rocks. I wish I'd paid more attention in...
I thought you...
I had a seat next...
Standard volcanic rock. Standard
Jim, are you all right? Jim, are you all...
These rocks are...
I'm totally lost again, like seriously. I'll be back in a minute. Large rock in the background is not the rock that I thought it would be.
This appears to be the most accessible spot to heat the rocks below the ground.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. My god. So now I call the Enterprise.
Kirk to Enterprise. Sulu, can you read me?
Sulu here, Captain. How can I help you?
The Enterprise should broadcast a low-level microwave beam at the coordinates I am sending.
We have them, Mr. Spock. Get ready. Stand away from the blast area.
Stand by, ready for weapons position.
Sending microwaves now.
Temperature near the power coupling is rising rapidly. I estimate a below-ground temperature of 345 degrees Kelvin is required to reactivate the array. It is at 320, 330, 335, 340, 345, 350.
Shut off the beam, Mr. Sulu.
Affirmative, Captain.
The array is now drawing power. We were successful.
Okay, yeah, let's use Spock on this.
Captain, the parameters of this sensor have been preset. I suggest we do not change them unnecessarily.
Okay, so let me go over here. Because we
I'm
know
now attempting to realign the device to 32.5 degrees. It should now be correctly aligned.
Then we scan it.
Captain, the array is now properly aligned to 32.5 degrees. Captain, the parameters of this sensor have...
Okay.
The array appears to have deployed recent... This appears to be similar to Federal...
Okay, so now that I've fixed the arrays, what I will do is I will just go and do everything else, and hopefully we can call it a day and go home.
Captain, the array dish appears to have escaped...
Okay. Man, that was annoying.
Well, I have to hand it to whoever built this place. All this equipment looks brand new and in good repair.
Let's hope the Enterprise looks this good when it's this old.
We should be very careful about how we proceed, Captain. I have a strange feeling that evil is lurking nearby.
Evil, Ensign?
Something that wants to imperil our souls, sir. We must avoid that at all costs.
Alrighty. Scanning away.
This DNA sequencer appears to be nearly 50,000 years old. Yet it has not broken down and appears to be fully powered. Aside from some dust and dirt and a small chemical deposit on the intake nozzle, this DNA replicator appears to be in the same condition that it was 50,000 years ago. A unique use of a phaser, but adequate for removing the deposits from the apparatus. There are life form readings just to the east and west of this room.
Okay, so last time we spoke to the darkness first. This time we'll speak to the light first.
Greetings, gentle beings, and welcome. I am Azra of the Omegan people. You are the salvation we have long sought. Thank you for answering our summons.
An angel!
Actually, it is the projected image of an angel, Mr. Johns.
Jim, somewhere in that machine behind the portal are single-cell organisms. They have a healthy metabolism and long lifespan, but an extremely low rate of reproduction. The enclosure behind this porthole is teeming with life. Billions and billions of creatures. There's something wrong with the piece of his genetic code that controls reproduction. I've never seen such a low reproductive rate in an organism that's this simple.
This projection is being cycled at 1,000 frames a second, which suggests the equipment was designed to function in the presence of a race that has a sharper visual acuity than the human or Vulcan races. This casing is constructed from a duranium alloy and contains computer equipment, an image projector controlled from the keyboard, a communications relay, a genetic bank behind that porthole, and a slot with which to take samples from the genetic bank. The computer is quite sophisticated, Captain, with encoded engrams similar to Dr. Daystrom's M5 computer program, which would indicate artificial intelligence.
This reminds me of the first time I saw them cloning Amoslovs at the Academy. It seemed like magic at the time, the fetuses growing into embryos, then developing into infants.
Life is a miracle, Captain.
This device contains genetic soup, Jim. Amino acids, proteins, the stuff of life itself.
This machine is a genetic bank, Captain. I suspect that the projection acts as a fail-safe mechanism that will surrender samples of the genetic code for sequencing and replication when the mechanism is willing.
We need to do everything we can to preserve the lives of these angelic creatures.
So where's the emergency? Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise.
I am Azra of the Omegan people, an ancient and venerable race which labors to prevent the domination of this world by the forces of darkness. We require you to expunge this place of our mortal enemies.
Captain, the most worthwhile purpose in life is to fight against the forces of darkness. We must help him.
Enemies? This world is so barren that our prime directive prohibits us from taking part in wars on one side or the other. It would be seen as intervention.
You imperil your soul by conversing with the enemy, that sugar-tongued Vizsla. I cannot protect you, but I do not imagine I can dissuade you either. Go, do what you must. I do not have that much time, but will be here if you seek to comply with my request.
Alrighty, let's go this way. This way.
I welcome you, otherworlders. I beseech you, save us from that which seeks our destruction.
How fitting for a devil to appear on a world that looks like hell.
Enough of that, Mr. Johns. This is just another xenobiological entity.
Correction, Doctor. This is a projection of a xenobiological entity.
Jim, the only life form readings are within that machine behind the portal. Single-cell organisms with an extremely high reproductive rate, but a very poor metabolism and an extremely short lifespan.
This projection is being cycled at 1,000 frames a second. The computer is functional, but I detect no connection between the keyboard and the machine itself. Apparently, it was designed this way. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
The glass-lined enclosure beyond this porthole is teeming with life. Literally billions and billions of creatures reside herein. The genetic pattern seems unusually stunted. It's almost as though something's missing.
This machine is a genetic bank, Captain. I suspect that the projection...
How come I always come to the barren planets, Jim?
This place feels evil, sir. I hope we don't have to stay here very long.
I can't say that I'll nominate this place for viewing in the Federation's architectural archives. Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. What can we do for you?
I am Vizsla of the Alphen people. Our race possessed this world and thrived here until the invasion by the forces of light. We are locked in a death struggle with them, for they desire our destruction. Do you aid them?
No, we do not aid them. Wars and destruction are not things we value, Vizsla. Our prime directive prevents us from interfering in internal struggles, but at the request of all parties, we might negotiate a compromise.
You open yourself to confusion in speaking with Azra, but it is understandable that you want to hear his side before acting. My assessment of you suggests that most of you will fight the clouding of logic and will see through Azra's deceptions. Please report to me your success.
Why wait? We've already talked to Azra.
It surprises me that you managed to survive listening to his warped theology. Yours must be a patient life form.
Frankly, Visner, Azra is certainly committed to his cause. Warped theology. It is true they differ greatly from...
Are you utterly ungrounded in logic? They are creatures of superstition. They invaded our world, then sought to drive us from it. How can you suggest we are anything alike?
You question my grounding in logic, but you don't apply logic. You're supposed to be the reasonable one. You said they usurped your place in the world, which suggests prior ownership.
We know we came first because they invaded us. An invasion suggests they came to take away that which we possessed. Clearly you can see that.
How do you know they didn't exist on this world before you encountered them?
Do you further suppose they came first and we invaded them?
I see there are only single-celled organisms here, each with a defect. Perhaps at one time, the Alpha and Omega life forms were united. A strong, viable species that became divided. Only by reuniting can you hope to survive. And only through mutual cooperation and our help can you reunite.
Captain, this thing is evil. We can't unite them.
Your position is unassailable and points out the one and only purpose for our races. Thank you, Captain Kirk, for making me see that. Yes, I desire your help for my people. Help us.
You take the alpha sample, which feels cold to the touch.
Almost done. Almost done. I hope. Could you have to do something else? If I've messed up the satellites again, I'm gonna be mad.
I will now reactivate Azra, Captain.
Was it not as I said it would be? Are not the Alphans unfeeling, uncaring beings unworthy of life? Did they tell you their lies?
Foul lies? Their position contradicts yours, but there are similarities. You dwell on your differences so much, you just can't see them.
Captain, they're as different as angels and demons.
Similarities? They are beings of shadow. They mock our perfection. They are our antithesis, created after we were to destroy us and our potential for good.
You repeatedly proclaim yourself good. If you're so perfect, you said they were created after you were. How do you know that?
We know we came first because that is what our sacred scriptures tell us. In the light we were born and commanded to shun that which dwells in darkness. This clearly tells us that we came first. Surely you can see that. Or is it that you have some other interpretation of the event that birthed the Omegans?
Does your sacred scriptures explicitly say that no beings were created before you?
Dare you suggest they came first?
Let's see what we've got. 2 single-celled organisms, each incapable of survival on their own. One lives in light, the other lives in darkness. Each must live a limited and unstable life without the other.
Captain, do you know what you're doing?
Allow us to unite you again. Your combined strengths will make you a viable entity again.
The persuasiveness of your arguments has opened for me a door through which I spy a future and a truth that I have long denied. You are correct. Perhaps being only half of a whole, I could not see the solution. Yes, I desire your help for my people. Help us.
The sample dish feels warm to the touch.
Alrighty, let's get this insubordination over with.
You know, a person could do serious research with a device like this. What an odd piece of equipment to find in a place like this.
A DNA synthesizer and replicator. This is one of the most advanced genetic facilities I have ever seen. How unusual.
How so, Spock?
Even visitors to this planet would leave behind a substantial number of artifacts. Sending only a genetics lab does not fit established archaeological patterns.
I haven't seen equipment like this since I interned on Talara. Such equipment. In such a place.
Interesting equipment we have here.
Wow, this is almost identical to an 8000 sequencer. Cutting-edge Federation technology. Just input a sample, and the sequencer analyzes it so it can be spliced or altered on the genetic level with the replicator. Captain, we have to run a set of source samples through the sequencer before I can make a composite sample with the replicator. I don't know why, but I could not get a good sampling.
Ensign, let Dr. McCoy try that troublesome sequence.
I can do the job, sir, if I can have some peace and quiet here.
Mr. Johns, I think I'm getting a clear picture here of your difficulty. It looks to me that you're... Calm down, Ensign. No one is criticizing you. I just need answers.
I appreciate the offer, Captain, but I know what's right and wrong here, so I don't need your help.
Ensign, I appreciate your situation, but this is not the time for philosophy. You have a job. Ensign, you are here as a genetic engineer. I could really use a Ensign, I appreciate your situation, but this is not the... Ensign, you are here. I could really use a Tellarite security officer right now. Ensign, you are here as a genetic engineer, not as a philosopher. I expect my orders to be obeyed, and if you have a problem with them, I don't expect to be deliberately misled.
I regret my attempt to mislead you. I will accept whatever punishment you feel is necessary.
I skipped Spock's.
What is it you think I'm asking you to do, Ensign?
You don't understand, Captain.
No, I skipped Spock's.
Look at the Alphans and look at the Omegans. There's so much evil in the universe. You're asking me to destroy a race of good and beauty by mixing their genetics with something ugly, something evil. I can't do it.
Ensign, I think you're confusing things. The Alphans and Omegans are singles. I am asking you to do nothing of the kind, Ensign. You believe in the struggle of good against evil, and I respect that. But the application of your philosophy...
Single cells. You're right. I've been a real idiot. I suppose I should take a refresher course in Aesop.
It wouldn't hurt. Some of the wisest people in history have written for children.
Never judge an input card by its label. I guess that was the trap I fell into, and kept me from doing my job, and made me deceive my captain.
If it's any consolation, you're not very good at deception, Ensign.
Thank you, sir. I hope you'll give me a chance to correct my mistakes. Do you think we're really meant to combine the two races?
You've programmed the sequences. You can tell whether they're compatible.
Sir, the sequencer indicates that they need to be combined for their continual survival. But how did you know?
I listened to Dr. McCoy. It seemed the logical conclusion, given the evidence.
Thank you, Captain.
Alrighty, let's do this again.
The alpha sample is sequenced, sir. This sample sequence is like a dream. The two samples have joined together as easily as if they had once been a whole and had been separated before.
Any race that had this technology 50,000 years ago could possibly have been able to perform such a dissection and kept both halves alive.
Captain, with the samples sequenced together, I'm ready to use the replicator to produce a sample with the combined genetic data. I am producing a new culture, Captain. Captain, the genetic sequence is still stored in the computer. If we need another sample, the replicator can generate it.
No effect. No effect. No effect. No effect.
Balance is in the way.
I don't understand. Jim, I suggest that
I need Burns to get out of the way.
No effect. No effect.
I was unaware you had studied. I was unaware.
Can you pick it up?
No effect.
Thank you.
I officially christen this life form.
Nothing unusual. The computer is functional, but nothing unusual about that. Nothing unusual. There is power going into these circuits, Captain.
I don't understand. I went to medical school. This definitely reminds me of an isolation bay in a genetic brewing vat. I have no idea how to use this thing.
This appears to either affect input or deliver output. I suspect this allows access to the void beyond the porthole. I do not see the logic in that action. I do not see the...
Well, this place seems peaceful enough.
Do you have any idea what this machine does, Spock?
It looks like a containment unit for an artificially created genetic construct. My tricorder indicates the device contains a nutrient replicator that could last for thousands of centuries. I would speculate this would nursemaid the genes until it has evolved into a higher form of life and is ready for release on the planet's surface.
This place doesn't feel evil, Captain.
Well, Jim, it doesn't look like it does anything. Oh, I guess I spoke too soon. It took it in. It looks as if the colony is getting a foothold in there.
Life energy levels are spiking. They're building to a level sufficient for sending out a signal 100 times stronger than the one that brought us here, Captain.
The gammon sample appears to be thriving in this environment.
Thank you for your hard work. You have fulfilled the design for which we were created. I am authorized to tell you the true nature of this planet and those who brought you here. All you need do is ask.
Okay, he's fixed.
Thank you, Captain, for your aid in constituting my people and in the unexpected necessary realignment of our communications array. You have performed admirably. Of the 16 stations reporting at this point, there have been 50% fatalities, 30% other failures, and only 20% successes. One group got points for style.
Points for style? Is this some sort of... Not another alien race with a superiority complex. Your appreciation is welcome, but many questions remain... Points for style? Your appreciation is welcome, but many questions remain unanswered. Who are you?
I am Sisissa, a projection of a synthesis of Azra and Visner. Clearly you know that the primitive life forms you have been dealing with are incapable of creating that in which you now stand. You will also note that the more demonic of the creatures displayed a passivity you did not expect, while the morally pure creature was aggressive and bloodthirsty.
The contradictions were noted and duly dealt with. I take it you were testing us on our ability to deal with disparate and contradictory inputs.
Yes, your reasoning ability was being tested, as well as your ability to adapt to new ideas when they conflict with deeply held beliefs and cultural customs. You passed quite admirably. The Brassica were impressed.
I'm not clear on who the Brassica are.
Captain, from this site, I can deduce various things about the Brassica. They are taller and more slender than we are. They are possessed of 3 fingers and a thumb on each hand. I suppose bilateral symmetry, and I know they possess greater visual acuity than humans. They visited this place well before humans had left the Cro-Magnon stage of development. And I note they have avoided detection by us, and presumably every other race in the universe, before they decided to send out signals to bring us to their bases.
Thank you, Mr. Spock.
And more you shall know as you continue on the quest. I wish you luck.
Kirk to Enterprise, Scotty, 4 to beam up.
Oh my god, we're done. We're done. Thật sựแล้ว.
Alpha and Omega. beginning and the end.
In this case, Bones, a new beginning. We were the midwives for the rebirth of a life form. Two halves that have been made whole again. That's the way it was meant to be.
And let us hope that this is the end of Ensign John's prejudices.
We can all learn to stop judging people by appearances. Ensign Johns might have done well to remember the biblical representation of Lucifer, appearing in the guise of an angel of light.
You can never trust anybody, and people who look like pointy-eared hobgoblins are definitely at the bottom of the list.
It appears that Dr. McCoy did not learn the lesson of this mission either. Unfortunate, but not unexpected.
Fortunately, the Alphans and the Omegans learned philosophy and personal belief are not as easily divorced from logic as some would believe. We humans attain our greatest fulfillment when both of them are united.
Really, Captain?
Really. But I've had enough philosophy for one day. I'd rather worry about these Brassica and their cosmic quest.
Well, with me aboard, we're sure to get points for style.
Many questions remain unanswered, Captain.
And there's only one way to answer them.
Captain, message from Starfleet.
Bring it up, Lieutenant.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. I am very pleased with your performance. It was a perfect mission, Jim. Your reputation as Starfleet's best starship captain is secure. Kane out.
Ahead, Mr. Sulu. Warp Factor 5.
Leaving orbit. Increasing to Warp Factor 5.
Spock, where do you think we should start looking for this? Brassica?
Logic suggests that they will present us with opportunities to come to them.
Captain, a message from Starfleet.
On screen.
Captain, the USS Regulus has been forced to cancel its survey mission to the Antares Rift. We've decided to redirect the Enterprise to that mission. The USS Hood will take over for your current assignment.
Of course, the Antares Rift has a rather dangerous reputation.
Nothing the Enterprise can't handle. But be careful. Starfleet out.
Well,
Save new game.
Good.
Replace.
Good.
Yes, quit the game.
Even with help, that mission still took over 40 minutes. Man, I could have skipped the dialogue and stuff like that, but I figured not really much point. I might as well have the dialogues play and just do the perfect away mission. So I'm glad that's over with. I wish that it made more sense, because it's like, oh, just shoot the rocks. Which rock? Tell me which rock. Tell me which rock. Or show me which rock. Like, how was I supposed to know that I had to shoot all the different rocks? And that they were all different. And then it's like, shoot the rock in the background. I'm like, there's 7,000 rocks in the background. Which one exactly do you want me to shoot at? But I got there in the end. So it makes me think, maybe I wasn't soft-locked. Maybe I just didn't have the information I actually required. And I could have continued it, but I don't know. What I do know is we're still nowhere near done. More to come. It's been interesting. But yes, this is just a repeat. Another repeat, but well, it needed to be done. Because now we can get to the newer stuff. But that's for next time. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.